Alright, today we're going to talk about section 8.4, polynomials, page 433 in your book. What is a polynomial? Well, it's very simply, it's a monomial or a sum of monomials. Okay, so anytime you have a series of monomials added together or subtracted together, because subtraction is just addition of negative numbers, then that is called a polynomial. There's a special term. If there's two monomials added together, you call it a binomial. If there's three, you call it a trinomial. If there's more than that, there's no special name for anything more than a trinomial. Okay, let's take a look at some examples. Alright, let's start off with the example 2x plus 3y. 2x plus 3y. 3yz. Is that a monomial? Or is that a polynomial? First of all, well, let's see if the things are added together. Yeah, there's a subtraction, which is just the addition of a negative number. So that's okay. Is this a monomial? 2x? Yes. And is this a monomial? 3yz? Yes. So the whole thing is a polynomial. Does it have a special name? Well, two terms for a polynomial. It is a binomial. Alright, let's look at the next one. What if we have this term? 8n plus 5n to the negative 2. Well, in this example, we have to say, is this a simplified form? And we say it isn't because we don't like the negative 2. So let's rewrite this guy with the negative 2 moving the n squared to the bottom. So we got 8n plus 5 over n squared. And if you remember that if we have n variable on the bottom of a term, fraction, then it is division by a variable, which is not allowed for a monomial. So is this a polynomial? No, because it's an addition of two things and both of them are not monomials. Okay? And there's no special name for that. It just doesn't have, it is not a polynomial. Now let's take a look at this third one. 4a squared plus 5a plus a plus 9. The first thing I notice is it's not simplified because I have the two like terms here that can be added together. So I'm going to rewrite it as 4a squared plus 6a plus 9. So now I look at these three terms here. They're all added together, so that's good. Are each one of them monomials? Yes, they are. So this is a polynomial. Yes, it is a polynomial. Does it have a special name? Well, it's got 1, 2, 3 terms, so yes, it does. It's a trinomial as its special name. Okay. Now let's take a look at this example. Let's say we're given this picture right here. Okay, we have a rectangle on the outside and a circle that touches the top and bottom of the rectangle. Okay, we are given the fact that the rectangle is B units long. Okay, and we're given the fact that the circle has a radius of R. So they're asking us to find this shaded region. What's the area of the shaded region? Well, to figure that out, we'll have to take the area of the rectangle and subtract the area of the circle. So let's find the area of the rectangle first. Well, to know that, we need to know how tall it is, and since the radius is r and it perfectly touches on both sides, our rectangle is 2r in height, or tall. Okay? So when we go to the rectangle, we say it's b wide and it's 2r tall, so the area is b times 2r, or 2br. Now let's take a look at the circle. The circle has a area of pi r squared, so we need to take the area of our rectangle, subtract from it the area of our circle, and that'll tell us how much the shaded area is. And there that is, 2br, the area of our rectangle, minus pi r squared, the area of our circle. The next thing we talk about is degrees of polynomials. And to know the degree of a polynomial, you have to understand what a degree of a monomial is. Okay, so let's take a look at what that definition is. The degree of a monomial is the sum of the exponents of the variables. The sum of the exponents of the variables. What does that mean? Well, that means something along the lines of, take a look at a monomial, something like this, 8y to the fourth, okay? And you're going to say, what is this, all my variables? Well, there's only one variable, y, and what is its sum of its exponents? 4. So its degree is equal to 4. What if I had this term? What if I had 3a? Well, its degree is 1 because a's exponent is 1 and there's no other variables. What if I had something like this? Minus 2x y squared z cubed. Okay? Well, in that one, I'd have to say I have to sum the exponents, right? So the exponent of x is 1. Add to it the exponent of y and the exponent of z, which is 3. So the degree of this monomial is 6. And finally, let's take a look at a simple monomial, just the number 7. What is its degree? Well, it has no variables, so its degree is just the number 0. Okay? All right, now we know the degree of a monomial. Now let's talk about the degree of a polynomial. When I have a polynomial, I'm just adding multiple monomials together. So the degree of the polynomial is the highest degree of any one of the terms inside of the polynomial. So if I have two terms, if I added these all together, which one has the highest degree? This one right here, 6. So the degree of a polynomial of adding 8y to the fourth plus 3a minus 2x y squared z to the third plus 7 is the highest degree of any of the terms. This is the highest degree of the term, so the degree, if this was one big polynomial, the degree of the polynomial would be 6. So let's take a look at a couple examples. Alright, let's take a look at example 5. mn squared. What is its degree? It's a polynomial, it's a simple monomial, but its degree, we just looked it up, would be 3. 1 plus 2. Let's take a look at a more complex one. How about minus 4x squared y squared plus 3x plus 5. Well, what is the degree of each one of these terms? The degree of this term is 2 plus 2, or 4. The degree of this term, excuse me, get it up on the screen there. The degree of this term is 1, and the degree of a simple number is 0. So which one's the highest? This 4 is the highest. So the degree of this whole thing is 4. Alright, let's try one more in this spot over here. Let's try 3a plus 7ab minus 2a squared b plus 16. Well, first of all, to figure out the degree of this polynomial, we'll say the degree of each of the monomials that are in the polynomial. The first one, the degree is 1. Exponent of a is 1. Exponent of a is 1. Exponent of b is 1. So that is a 2 degrees for that monomial. This one, 2 plus 1 is 3. And this one, a number, it has no variable, so it has no degree or degree of 0. So there's your highest one. So the degree of this polynomial is 3. Alright, let's try the next item. Alright, now let's try ordering polynomials by degree. polynomials by their degree. Alright? And obviously you can order things numerically, either in an ascending order or descending. Okay, and ascending order is little to big, and descending order is big to little. Okay, so let's take a look at an example here. 7x squared plus 2x minus 11. And they're asking to reorder this in the ascending order of x, or the ascending degree of x. Okay, so we're looking at our variables x, and what's the degree of x here? 2. The degree of x here is 1, and the degree of x here is 0. So to rewrite this in the correct order, ascending, we take the smallest one, which is 0, start there, negative 11, then the next smallest, next x, and 7x squared. And we've rewritten this form in the ascending order of the degree of the x variable. Okay, now let's take a look at another term that has multiple variables in it. Another polynomial, 2xy cubed plus y squared plus 5x cubed minus 3x squared y. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is just say the degree of each polynomial. The degree. Well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. But the degree of x is just figure out the value for x. The exponent of x is 1. Okay? Now the second term, the total degree of the term is 2. But the x degree, there is no x, so x has no degree in this term. The third one, the total degree is 3, and it all comes from the x, so its degree is 3. And the last term, we have a total degree of 2 from x and 1 from y, so 3, but the x degree is just 2, because that's all that the x has, is 2 of them. So now we're supposed to do ascending order of x. Okay, so the ascending order of x would be which is the largest x. This is the largest x. So this term is first. Smallest term. Start with a 0. So we'd start with y squared. That was that term. Now what's the next one? The next one would be the 1. So plus 2xy to the third. The next one is 2, so minus 3x squared y. I got that from this term right here. And then finally, the ascending, or the largest degree of x, is 3, so we add 5x cubed. And that would be our answer to the ascending order of x, degree of x. All right. Now let's do a couple descending orders. Let's say we're given the term 6x squared plus 5 minus 8x minus 2x cubed. And we want to do the descending order of x. The descending degree order of x. Okay, so let's find the degree. This guy is a 2. This guy is a 0. This guy is a 1. And this guy is a 3. So we want to descend now. We want to go from the biggest to the littlest. So the biggest is this guy. So we start with negative 2x to the third. So we've done that guy. Now let's do the next guy, which is 2. So we're going to say plus 6x squared. The next is minus 8x. And the last one is the 0 plus 5. And that is the polynomial written in descending order of x degrees. And the last example, well, one with mixed variables, 3a squared x squared minus a to the 4th plus 4a x to the 5th plus 9a squared x. So if we have this, let's find out the terms, the degrees of the terms. So let's do it again like we did before. There's the degree of the whole monomial, and then we'll find out the x degree. So the degree of this whole monomial is 1, 2, 3, 4. But how many come from the x? 2 of them come from the x. This degree has a degree of 4. How many come from the x? None of them. There is no x in that guy. This guy has a total degree of 1 from the a and 5. So 1 plus 5 is 6. But all 5 of them come from the x. And the last one has a total degree of 3, 1, 2, and the exponent for x is 1, and 2 plus 1 is 3, but only one of them comes from the x. So now since we're asked to do the descending order of x, we're going to look at our x line and see what's descending. What's the largest one? That guy right there. So that term is 4ax to the 5th. The next largest term in order of x's, degree of x, is this guy, plus 3a squared x squared. Then 1 is next, which corresponds to the term 9a squared x. And then finally, we do the 0 term minus a to the 4th. And that is the descending order of x degree for that polynomial.